Hey folks, and welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. On our last episode, we had went to deliver some food to Hypatia, and when we had arrived at her cave, a strange little creature transported us to a dreamlike world, filled with, well, a wee variety of things. After our strange venture, though, we came to and subsequently cooked up some food for Hypatia and learned a few more tidbits about Irminsul, Sumeru scholars, and well, the fact that adults in this region, for some reason or another, can no longer dream. So, with that wee tidbit in mind, let us continue henceforth and, well, return back to Gandharvaville, if anything, to deliver some news of the fact that, well, I guess we fed Hypatia, just learned more about the world, huh? At least, well, this little world around us. Man, if only there was a teleporter up there. But I do like, well, seeing the scenery and what have you. Plus, we can use these little grappling hooks. So I guess it isn't too inconvenient, huh? We haven't really spoken to any of these NPCs, though, so I'm actually curious what they have to say. Hello there, Keon. It's my first time hearing your footsteps. Sorry I'm blind, so I can't be of any help to you. Still, my hearing is very good. Hello! Oh, hello. Travelers, merchants, and adventurers frequent Gandharvaville, but your footsteps are more agile than theirs. You must be a lively and lovable youngster. That's a good thing, and very rare to come by in Sumeru right now. Young traveler, may the greater Lord watch over you. Yeah, it really does seem like as if people just don't really think about the lesser Lord, huh? Like Kusanali and all that. That's so unfortunate, isn't it? Like, I'm sure the greater Lord did some amazing things for the people of Sumeru, but, well, they did have to let me rephrase that. They did have to pass the torch on to the Lesser Lord at some point or another, huh? Because, well, they're no longer with us. But about the Greater Lord. The Greater Lord may be gone, but the people of Sumeru will never forget the blessings she bestowed upon us. And I mean, that's a good thing, but what about Kusanali? Youngster, I'm sure you know that every blade of grass and leaf in this land is a blessing from the Greater Lord. Human life is too short. Will I be alive to see the Dendro Archon bring Sumeru back to its former glory? Interesting. I want to see if there's any more dialogue here. Has something happened in Sumeru? Not at all. It's peaceful as always. Just, with the weathering on occasion. It's just me, a blind old man, worrying about nothing. The use of Akasha has been growing in popularity, while fewer dusk birds are flying up Sumeru City. I wonder what Akasha is. I could only hope this is a sign of progress. Interesting. Akasha normally has to do with some kind of knowledge, though, so I wonder what this Akasha is. At least in the context of Sumeru. I pick Ruka-ha-shava mushrooms every day. My waist is sore, my back aches, and I'm only in my 20s. Sounds tough. Ugh, no kidding. Picking mushrooms requires endless bending down. It gets real horrible after a while. Luckily, the academia requires a huge supply of Rukaha-shava mushrooms, so I gained a steady job from this. My current goal is to save Samora, buy a house in the city and live there. About Rukaha-shava mushrooms. Rukaha-shava mushrooms are great stuff, by the name that they must be something amazing left by Greater Lord Rukaha Devata. I think they could serve as cooking ingredients, herbs, well, and maybe fertilizer. Well, I'm not sure since the Akasha didn't tell me all its uses. I guess I didn't need to know. As long as the Academia needs it, I could always make money from it. The only thing I do know is that it's a great ingredient for cooking. Here are some for you, take a try. Do you sell them, or did you just give me one? Tell me about the city. I've been living in the wilderness all my life, so I rarely get the chance to enter the city. Even my mushrooms are sent into the city via convoy. You seem like you've been to places. Can you tell me what city life is like? I heard city folk merely have to sing songs or dance to get some shiny Mora. Is that true? I mean, well, I know a bard, but in terms of Mora income, I don't think he really gets much of anything. But isn't every Mora a piece of the Geon Archon's flesh? Why would they trade using an Archon's flesh? And what would they do without Mora? It eludes me. Cities truly are mysterious. Interesting stuff, though. Anyway, Kamran, what say you? If it wasn't for the forest's alleviating effects on the disease, someone with Elazar would have never been allowed to be a forest ranger. Elazar? Huh, who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you asking about that? I'm just passing by. Right. This is Gandharvaville. You can rest here if you're tired. If you don't want to be educated by the Forest Watchers, then take a look at the stuff on the notice board. Forgive me for being unable to say more. A notice board, eh? Is there anything in here? Because sometimes you can find things like books, so... It's curious stuff. Nice little cozy place, though. Doggy! Anyway, Ashpazi. Even an idiot could cook awesome food with this fresh meat. I'd like some fresh meat too. Oh, looks like you know your stuff. Just pick whatever you want. So, I'm guessing we could buy a variety of stuff. Oh, you can buy Ruka Hashava mushrooms? Man, if I had known I could have bought some from you, that would have, like, saved me at least, well, 5 plucks. But then again, it's going to still save me 5 regardless because, well, it's going to help me be able to get my Collie to level 90 at some point. But right, so you've got Mushroom Hodgepodge. An Aranara-style dish that Paimon has drained her brain juice dry to improve, but in fact it only requires a few common mushrooms from Sumeru, along with some extra seasonings. Paimon selected 3 types of mushrooms, and they were prepared and then cooked in a simple way, but the texture and flavour aren't bad at all. Delicious pizza pocket. A bread with varied fillings. Aromatic meat and crunchy vegetables are the leading actors of this big show. The sauce, or the gaffa, has expertly focused the limelight on their diet, while each pocket is full of surprises, just like a magician's bag. Oh, that's neat, that's neat. Okay, I mean, do I want to learn more about the wildlife here? Yes, I kind of do. You can cook? What kind of question is that? Don't look down on my culinary expertise just because I'm wearing a Forest Watcher's uniform. I'm the renowned Master Chef of the Forest Rangers. Alright, that's enough jokes for now. Still, even if I'm not truly renowned, my culinary skill is pretty extraordinary. Everyone praises it once they try it. I don't believe it. You got a problem with me, pal? But you don't look anything like an unreasonable oaf. Oh, I get it. You're using reverse psychology to get a free meal out of me. That's okay. I don't mind falling for tricks when it comes to sharing food. I have only one request. Just spread the good word about my food if you like it. So, did we get a recipe? No, we just got a shawarma wrap. Oh, that's a new piece of food. Apologies for reading all this stuff. I just get very much interested about this kind of thing. I love reading little bits of flavor text now and then. Where's the foods? Because I've been meaning to do this when we first arrived here. No, that's Ghostly March. No. It was a green rarity, right? No. There we go. Shawarma wrap. A wrap filled with roasted meat. Meat shaved off the vertical skewer is wrapped in a flatbread together with vegetables and sauces. Play up and a simple yet delicious Sumeru street food is ready. Oh, that looks delish! I see some tomatoes there too. A little bit of lemon. That's cool, that's cool. One of the other things I can appreciate as well is that you can actually take inspiration from some of these recipes and just kind of, well, do them in real life as well. Because, like, obviously they're based off some real world things, huh? Of course. Where do you think the meat I sell comes from? Did you think stupid boars rush at me and ram their heads against my arrows? That's enough jokes. After being with Mr. Tainari for so long, even the way he speaks has rubbed off on me. I oversee logistics for the Forest Rangers, so knowing how to hunt and cook is perfectly normal, right? In my opinion, the first step to being a good chef is to be a good hunter. Well, I'm not really a good hunter, so it's not like I can really hunt for my own ingredients.
Think about it, Tainari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand.
Okay.
I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Gulam. Let's at least listen to Tainari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the Academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
I see. Huh. And I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tainari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
Why don't you just give him the deets right now? That seems so counterproductive. Oh yes, by the way, Tainari, we need your help with something. Yeah, what is it? Well, we won't tell you what it is until we bring you there. Like, that's not going to convince any reasonable person.
And how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tainari, but you...
But what?
So be it. Come, Gulam, we're leaving.
I just think that was a pretty reasonable response, honestly. Props to the guy standing his ground.
Tainari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions for us, too.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumeru City, correct?
Oh, but of course.
That's right. We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
Assuming they ain't all just gonna be about the Greater Lord as per usual, because that seems to be the usual trend here.
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are researchers. How about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Immorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him might prove worthwhile. Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this very item is the basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Okay, so that's what the Akasha is. Interesting, interesting. Because, well, we only just spoke to an NPC that just briefly mentioned the thing, huh?
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! But wait, before that...
We need to say goodbye to Kale.
That's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave. Is she doing better now?
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go.
Farewell, and good luck to you both.
Aye, toodles for now, bud. Right. I'm looking forward to being able to see more of, well, Sumeru as a whole and just seeing what the city looks like proper because, while I did just kind of jog through it quickly, I didn't really take the time to really take in the scenery. Oh, we also have some dendroculus. Okay, a substance that has accumulated intense dendral energy. Offer it to the statue and help reinstate the power it has lost over the years. So just the usual kind of fluff. Gotcha, gotcha. Where is the letter of introduction? We can find it. And we have all these letters. Tainari's introduction letter. A letter from Tainari to Rohawi, a researcher from Amurta. In the letter, Tainari requests that Rohawi uses his prowess in collecting information to help you. Rohawi's address in Sumeru City is also attached therein. Oh, okay, that's thoughtful of the guy. Thank you kindly, Tainari. Holy moly. Going the extra mile for us, huh?
I've been waiting for you two. Never mind. I guess I should just wish you two a safe and successful journey. Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Please take care of yourself, Kale.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend, not some girl that needs your sympathy.
I mean, fair enough.
But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another. There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends and sharing your past with us. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you. Thank you. That means a lot. Before you leave, I have something for you. Oh? What is it? It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? My handwriting is a little, messy, so please don't laugh.
Ah, thank you kindly.
Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like. I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville.
Of course we will.
Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here.
Well, that was a little wholesome short arc. Let's look at the recipe, shall we? Recipe, Pizza Pocket, a handwritten Pizza Pocket recipe with detailed cooking tips in small letters. The writer's penmanship seems questionable. Some letters are shaky, perhaps due to the bad condition she was in. However, every word was written carefully. If you have learned how to cook it, don't forget to enjoy this delicious food together with her the next time you visit Gandharvaville. Aww, that's adorable.
Sumeru City! We finally made it!
Indeed we did, Paimon. Also, to briefly explain what may have been a sudden jump cut. So, I originally started this cutscene, but my computer had a crash, and the recording stopped literally at, I kept most of the footage, so that's why there was a bit of a jump cut. I was actually panicking because I saw it crash through this because I'm like, oh no! Am I just gonna lose all the footage? But no, thankfully I didn't. I just wasn't expecting that to happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little bit speechless, but thankfully I managed to recover most of the footage, and well, we're just starting this cutscene from scratch because for some reason it started from scratch, so we take those. It's a blessing in disguise.
Oh, did you see that? When those people entered entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
Yeah, I have seen it before.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Technically my second, but you know what? We returned by crash.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But how did you know that?
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge. After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal.
And well, before we had arrived in the city, we did hear the mention of the Akasha. So it's also still like a very interesting thing to learn about so soon after talking to an NPC about it.
As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about. It sounds pretty amazing.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now all travelers are issued one upon arrival. Here are your Akasha terminals. Please handle them with care.
It kinda looks like a leaf.
But it looks so nice and stylish and, well, of course, portable.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Oh, since this little doodad lets you access knowledge, maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try. Ahem. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it. Oh, that'll come in real handy.
I also love how this little UI looks for it. It just looks so neat, like it's so technologically advanced.
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha. And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Surasthana. Seems pretty similar to what Kali was telling us. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. The Akasha didn't respond to Paimon's question.
Huh. The same happened to me, so I guess not even the Akasha knows how to meet the Lesser Lord Kusanali, huh? Is she really that forgotten?
Oh, come on! Ugh. Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't think of it. Ugh. Paimon's brain is exhausted.
I'll try asking the Akasha something else. No, maybe I'll indirectly find more information about Kusanali.
Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it?
Think Lesser Lord Kusanali. Some knowledge began to trickle into my mind for a moment, but there really wasn't anything that I didn't already know.
You too? Well, glad it's not just Paimon.
Think, why doesn't the Akasha answer my question? A vague thought suddenly comes to mind. The Akasha doesn't unconditionally respond to every query. Also, even if the same query is requested by multiple people, the Akasha still imparts knowledge based on each person's identity, age, experiences, and other demographics.
Huh. Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified to receive an answer to this sort of question or something.
Thank Greater Lord Rukahadavata. Many bright dots of light appeared in my mind. I probably need to calm my mind and focus more to understand what they mean. Feelings of affection, intimacy, nostalgia, sadness, and anxiety also come to my mind. These seem to be what the people of Sumeru feel about their departed Archon.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people of Sumeru really miss their Archon. Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is to try meeting with the researcher that Tainari recommended. He's from Sumeru and even has a position in the Academia. Maybe he'll be able to access more info from the Akasha. Let's see. Tainari wrote an address on the letter's envelope. Oh, it's not far from the city's gate. Let's head over and have a look. Hopefully he's at
Watch
home.
out for pickpockets.
Oh, I actually quite like how lively this place is. There's actually quite a lot more NPC activity from what I'm normally used to in the other towns. Okay, so let's see. Let's just ask some of them about. You must know yourself as well as your enemy to win every battle, wouldn't you agree? What do you mean? As you've seen, I'm a member of the Corps of 30. Naturally, we're responsible for keeping the peace in Sumeru City. Theft, meanwhile, is the most common crime we see in the more crowded parts of the city. How else can you catch a thief except by being familiar with how a thief thieves? When my younger brother sees me occasionally, very occasionally mind you, simulate a theft in action, he always exposes my technique. How am I supposed to improve that way? Watch out for pickpockets. Are there lots of thieves? With the corpse of furry around, pickpockets wouldn't dare come around often. But there could be inside jobs. If you see someone who looks exactly like me, watch your wallet. He's my twin brother, a petty thief who talks nonsense all the time. Don't let him rub off on you, just keep an eye on his actions. You all look pretty much the same. That's even easier, don't trust anyone. You'll pay the price someday if you let your guard down around people in uniforms. So what did you give me? Oh, some adventurous experience.
Watch out for pickpockets.
Ah yes. Experience cards.
Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great! You see, Tainari sent us here and...
What? Tainari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
I think you've misunderstood us. Yeah, you kinda jumped the gun.
Here, this is a letter from Tainari.
Oh, let me see. Oh, ooh, what a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So you two just have some questions for me? Seems even Tainari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha. Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
So it just seems to be like there's not a lot of information going about on how to meet Kusanali, huh?
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that? Paimon was sure you'd be able to access more info than we did.
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the Sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Wait, The Akasha doesn't see a need for you to know. So, is the Akasha terminal like a very biased thing? I mean, I did mention things about demographics and all that, right? So, like, say, for example, you were a chef and you looked up information on things to not do with that field of expertise, like being a scholar or an astrologian or just some kind of out of the left field thing, right? Does that mean it just wouldn't give you access to that kind of information? Is it divided by ranks and all that? Or just field of work? Because that's really interesting. Because that means that there's also some kind of hierarchy going on with this database as well. Not only just based off the society, but the database too. So, does that mean that this is going to be treated as some kind of resource of sorts? Man, I want to know more.
Huh. Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
Aw, but then what can we do?
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas. And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing.
But why would there be a bright side to that? We need to inquire to them about various things.
In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom.
But I want to see the Archon.
Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tainari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me.
You meant this kind of stuff?
Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the academia.
Oh, Paimon's expectations were pretty low, but this is so low it's like digging holes in the dirt. So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody here.
No, there's still one other person we know.
Huh? Like who?
Ad Astra Abasak.
Oh, you're right! Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own intel network. Let's hurry and find her.
Dang, it's time to see Catherine again for the 4th time. I wonder if she's gonna look exactly the same as every other time. But I think we shall have this as our ending point. We'll go talk to her next time. So, folks, thank you all for watching this episode of Genshin Impact, and I'll see you all next time as we continue our journey through Teyvat. Ta-ta for now.